we would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of country throughout Australia and support the recognition of traditional Aboriginal law across the nation. We pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging on this land. Hello, I am Jenna Chanel Hayes and this is the Loving Podcast. In looking back through our history and understanding that our Western world has been built by invading white culture originating from European settlement, it's easy to see how mass injustice and inequality has thrived in all areas of society, placing white people at the top of the ladder. This can be seen no more clearly than in our media industry. Today's guest is someone who not only challenged those false beliefs as a young girl, but also literally redefined the Australian beauty industry, which is no small feat. This woman is not only completely mesmerising on the outside, but she's also charming, strong, kind, ambitious, intelligent, and has an amazing sense of humour. She's worked for some of the world's most luxurious brands, on runways, in campaigns, and on magazine covers, including the highly sought-after Vogue cover. She has also recently taken on the role of Goodwill Ambassador for World Vision. Welcome to the absolutely perfect Samantha Harris.
Hi.
Hi, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Let's start, I guess. I'm so excited to hear about what you're doing with World Vision and Indigenous girls and all of that. But I think we should start with your career for all of the internationals who have unfortunately never seen your beautiful face. Tell us how you came into the modelling career.
Well, how I came to modelling career, I started modelling when I was 13 years old.
Yeah.
I entered the Girlfriend Model Search Competition, which is a teen Australian magazine, for those who don't know, and I was lucky enough to be one of the 6 finalists nationwide. I didn't win the competition, but I got signed with my agency, Chic Management, and I'm still with Chic to this day. So it's been a long, long road with them.
And did you see the magazine like, I want to do that, or did somebody tell you should enter?
I think my uncle showed my mum a newspaper clipping because back in the day, everyone loved the newspaper.
And everyone loved Girlfriend. And yeah.
So it was just a little tiny cutout and they had their roadshow in Brisbane. I'm from Tweed Heads, so the closest one was Brisbane. So got on a bus, got on a train and went up to Brisbane and, thought it'd be fun. I didn't think I would be picked because, there's 200 girls that day enter. That's only in Brisbane. So, I was thinking what would make me so special that they would pick me. Yeah. But obviously there must be something.
Were there any other Indigenous girls?
No, not that I know of. I didn't see any. Yeah.
That's what makes you
just
so
little
special.
Old me.
Yeah. And how was your childhood? What did you do growing up and,
Growing up, I was a really shy girl. Like I wouldn't talk. If someone said hello to me, I would say hi and that was it. That's as much as they got out of me. Yeah. I grew up on the Gold Coast, so there's beautiful beaches, went to the beaches with my family, my cousins, and went to the movies and that was pretty much it. Like it's summer all along on the Gold Coast, it never gets cold, so everyone's always at the beach.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
In the Australian beauty industry, you are someone that most people in this world would look up to and would recognize you as this really special person who has blazed the trail for people who are not white or, people who are not the standard kind of...
The stereotypical beauty to kind of do what they want to do and be able to do it. Yeah.
Did you feel that as you started, obviously, as you were really young, as a 13-year-old, did you kind of feel the specialness that was and is?
No, I had no idea. I guess I would have felt more like a fish out of water because I was so shy and all the other girls, they all looked similar and had the similar look. And again, there's me, I stood out. Yeah. And when you're younger, you don't want to stand out. You want to look like everybody else and kind of blend in. Yeah. Now I'm older, I love that I stand out. But, when you're younger, you just want to be like everyone else, trying to slot through and breeze through life. And that wasn't the case. Yeah.
Do you feel the industry is different now? Do you feel the difference?
I do feel the difference. The industry does have, a bit more of a way to go. But with diversity in general, there's so many different nationalities on the runway, so many body shapes, which I think is amazing. Yeah. That took, about bloody time. Like, people want to be able to look at a model in a shop or, in a magazine and say, I can look like that. I can wear that dress. Yeah. Not, a girl that looks nothing like you or a completely different body shape. You can't picture yourself and, you kind of feel alienated. Like, where's someone that looks like me? The world's very multicultural, but...
Yeah, and everybody comes in different shapes and sizes.
Yep.
Yeah, that's one thing I really want to talk to you about as well. Body image for me has always been an issue.
Yeah.
I've always thought of myself as quite big.
Really?
Yeah, really. I've always thought of myself as quite big. And then I saw a photo of me and 3 of my beautiful friends. It was last year or the year before.
Yeah.
And I thought I was bigger than all of them. And I was the littlest one.
And you saw the photo and you're like, oh, wow, that's what I look like.
Yeah. So it's always been this issue. I had family members call me thunder thighs when I was like 14, 15. I was a size 6 or a size 0, you know. But when you have those things coming at you as a young girl, it does damage.
Yeah,
and it stays with you.
Yeah.
Has that ever been a problem for you?
Yeah, no, definitely. I'd be lying if I'm like, I'm just positive and everything's fine. No, especially being in an industry where your job is what you look like, it can be tough. Yeah. I was, when I first started, I was very slim, but I was also a child. Yes. I was 13, so I was very young. And obviously I've gotten older. My body shape has changed. So going from, you've hit puberty. So I'm not the only one in the world that's hit puberty, obviously. But you know what I mean? To go from a size 6 to 8 and then you're a solid 10 to, maybe 12 at 10, it's a shock. I'm sure the listeners are probably thinking that's really dramatic. But again, it's the world that I grew up in, the world that I lived in or still live in. And I think even people had noticed, like I always get comments of, is she pregnant? Or like I posted a photo. I was swimming with my husband and he took a photo of me. It wasn't even candid. It wasn't even a great one. Yeah. And I was posting a photo to prove that I wasn't pregnant. But that's things that it's damage. Like it upsets me, but that's things that women have to deal with and they shouldn't have to. Yeah. Like prove, what they should be a certain size or
justify your existence.
It's everyone comes in different shapes, different sizes. Yeah. They're all beautiful. Yeah. But it's definitely something that the older I get, I'm still very picky. Yeah. I'm my biggest critic. But like now that I'm older, I just want to be fit, healthy, strong. Yeah. I always used to compare myself to girls when I was younger. Yeah. And I wanted to look like, a girl has great abs. I want those abs. But the girl that has great abs could be like, I don't know what they'd want from me. I'm trying to think.
So much.
But you know what I mean? Like you always want something you don't have when, there's only one of us. So we should be happy that, we're unique. Just be the best version of you. And I think the older I've gotten, I'm more aware of just being the best version I can and not comparing myself to anyone because it's not a way to live life. Like it's going to kill you inside. Yeah.
Is that something you've focused on building, like a self-confidence focused on? So like looking at Instagram and, for women, for girls, for women, the pressure of body, of age, of wrinkles, of all of that stuff is constant. Yeah. So do you actively take measures to avoid things?
I used to kind of, I'm not going to say upset, but like I would be a lot more envious when I was younger. So when I say younger, I mean like last year, the year before, not that long ago. So it's not like I've had this epiphany like 5 years ago. Like it's still something I deal with, on a regular basis and things like that. But again, it's just, you just got to be happy within your own skin. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, and just, it's a photo. Like they could have taken thousands of photos, brightened it. You don't know what they've done to the photo. Yeah. Like they might not even look like that. You don't know.
Yeah. And it just comes down to beauty is internal, right? Yes. Whatever we have inside shines out. And, exactly. And that's what makes you beautiful. Yeah. If you're suffering internally, then you're not going to radiate.
No, and everything else will go wrong or just be a struggle. Like I find myself, even if, if let's say I'm not into my fitness as much, like it's just a snowball effect. Like my house will be a mess. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's just all these little things add up and become this really big issue when you're not feeling good within yourself or inside.
Mental health.
Yes, exactly.
Exercise is...
That's why I love it.
Yeah. What do you do? What's your favourite?
I do a mix of things. Like I'll do weights.
I really, like this is, I don't want this to be like a podcast where it's like, what do you eat? What do you do? But what do you love?
I do a mix of things. So I do weights. Yeah. Not big weights, like just to tone. Yeah. I'll just run on the treadmill because it's too bloody hot to be running outside. But I train with my husband. Okay. We do like a HIIT session. He's really fit. Okay. We get a deck of cards. We pick 4 exercises. So for the suits, one of them's always burpees. And we go through the whole deck.
Okay, together. Burpees are not fun.
Burpees are not fun, like, and especially if you're getting, like, burpees are spades. So if you keep getting all the spades, like, it's not it's not ideal. But it makes you feel better. It makes you stronger. So that's the main thing.
And it's great that you've got him because he will push you.
Yes.
You know, because guys' bodies are different and stronger generally.
Yeah.
A couple of days ago, I was watching you on a couple of shoots.
Oh.
On...
That's weird.
Online.
Oh, okay. I was like... I'm trying to think. I was like, what was I doing?
I was watching videos of you.
Okay.
I'm a filmmaker. When I'm on set, there is... It feels like where I'm meant to be.
Yeah.
Like it feels so good.
Yeah.
When I see you online in front of the camera, to me it looks like that is just where you were born to be.
Oh, thanks.
Is that how it feels to you though? Do you feel like when you're in front of a camera and you know you're doing a shoot or whatever, it's just a comfort, just this is my home, this is my space?
Yeah, definitely. Like I love doing it. It's like you feel like, to put it in a weird perspective, like I feel like I'm in, like you're invincible. Like this is your spot.
Yeah.
This is where you're supposed to, well, as you said, it's where I'm supposed to be. Yeah, it's just, I really enjoy it. You can be creative and it's all, I don't know. It's more than just a picture. Like it's just, it's so much fun and I'm very lucky and very grateful to be doing it.
You were born to do it and it's really beautiful.
My mum says that, well, I'm sure every mum says that, but my mum does say that I was born to do it. She always has this stupid little story when she had the ultrasound of me. She didn't know if I was a boy or a girl.
Yeah.
And I'd moved. Yeah. And I don't know what the lady's called that does the ultrasounds. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. I don't know.
We haven't had babies yet.
Yeah, no. Anyway, that lady, she was like, by the looks of it, I think it could be a girl because it looks like she's posing in your belly.
Are you serious? That's beautiful.
Yeah. Well, luckily, imagine if I was a boy. It would be a letdown.
No, you could have been a model.
Yeah.
And your mum wanted to be a model?
My mum did want to be a model. My mum's, she's probably like 5 foot tall. She's only a little teeny tiny. But in those days as well, you know, she's Indigenous. They wouldn't have given an Indigenous person a chance, really a fair go.
Yeah.
Like I was talking to her today and just talking about all the things that I've been doing and, you know, what's going on. And she's so proud, but like she still gets a bit kind of, I guess you could say funny, but like if I, you know, for standing up for Indigenous people for, you know, what they deserve basically. Because my mum had gone through such a hard time growing up, she gets nervous for me. Like she doesn't want anyone to be, you know, to upset me or,
Are we able to talk about your mum? Well, like what, she's part of the stolen generation. Yes. Does she talk about that to you? Do you know?
She has a lot more the older we've gotten. So when we were younger, like, you know, we knew she was taken, but that's kind of all we knew. But the older we are, she has told us a bit about it. Late last year, she was in Sydney and just out of the blue, she goes to me, oh, Samantha, I want to go back to the home I was in. And me and my husband were like, what? It's Bomaderry, so it's near Nowra.
Right.
And we were like, oh, okay, we're like, you sure? She goes, yeah, I want to go in there. And, we went in there and, the home, they're still there because it's the first home. And, we had a look and she could point out what one was her home and she said it's not as big as she thought it was. And so, I mean, she was just really little and just makes me really, like, it's a sad situation in general, but that was my mum and my aunties.
So your mum and her sisters?
Yeah.
How many of them?
2 sisters. My mum's the oldest and there was a family that wanted to adopt her. And the older girls told her, Myrna, if you don't play up, they're going to take you away from your sisters. So now she can laugh back on what she was doing, but like she would break things in their house and like chuck sand everywhere. And just so they were like, we're not going to have her. But so she could go back to her sisters. So they didn't split the family up.
Yeah. What age and everything was she able to go back to her parents, to your grandparents?
No, I think she went to her auntie, I believe. But, they travelled around working and, like, lived off the land and,
Was it a healing experience for your mum to go back?
I think it was, because she didn't, like, I wanted to cry and, like, even, like, we're looking there and it's like, you know, that she was there. Like, the person standing next to me was actually here.
She went through that?
Yeah. And, I think it was healing for her. Like, you know, I would never have asked her if she ever wanted to go back or anything. But for her to say, I want to go, obviously,
Yeah.
Something to kind of, I guess, close the chapter in a way. Because look how well she's done. You know, she's done amazing. She's an amazing mum. You know, she's got 4 beautiful kids. So,
So you've got 3 brothers?
I have 3 brothers.
And are you the baby?
No, I have a 20-year-old brother.
Okay. So you are so comfortable in front of the camera. Do you see acting as, like, what do you see in the future? Do you want to go into acting? Do you want to...
I would love to do, like, presenting of some sort.
Okay. But
acting, I don't know. I don't.
Yeah.
Like, because I was so shy. Like, I didn't.
Yeah.
You know.
But even meeting you 5 years ago and meeting you today, you're much more confident. You're much more in your skin. And I mean, I would be too from 5 years ago because I'm innately shy. I grew up on a sheep farm, so I grew up.
You're out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I didn't see anybody. So as a young woman, how did you find that confidence?
Yeah, just working. And I think the older you get, you don't, like, when I say don't care, like you just, anyone else's negativity or anyone else's bad opinions about you or whatever, you just ignore them. Like, I love me. My family loves me. Everyone that knows me knows I'm a great person or a good person. So if, anybody else thinks otherwise, like,
it's not your business.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the things I really love about you, as I said before, is you're kind of moving into the human rights realm and you've become the Goodwill Ambassador for World Vision.
Yes.
Can you tell us about that?
Yeah. I became an ambassador for World Vision, I want to say the start of last year, which I was very excited about. Yeah. But I was also more excited to know that they go out to remote Indigenous communities. Yeah. And just I want to say help them, but World Vision basically, they don't go in and say, you need this, this, this. They don't tell them what to do because, that happened all those years ago and that didn't work. Yeah. Yeah, they go in and they meet with the parents and they're really pushing childhood early education. So they'll get the parents trained and they run their own play groups. And so they don't give them toys or anything for the kids. They make them so they have all these little educational things to play with and to learn. And they just literally, they provide them the resources they need to continue to live the lifestyle that they want to live. Yeah. Just a bit more of that push for, the children to be able to go to school and
Are they helping to ensure that Indigenous children are being educated in the way that the Indigenous community want to educate them?
Yeah, 100%. Like they teach them the language that they have, which I think is really cool. Yeah. Obviously schools in Sydney and everywhere else, they don't get that kind of opportunity. But they're very mindful and a lot of their storybooks are like Dreamtime stories. Beautiful. And they're really focused on the Indigenous culture, which I think is really amazing. So,
yeah. And knowing who you are, not forcing. Yeah. I mean, when I was at school, it was all about Captain Cook and I learnt nothing.
No.
I learnt nothing at all.
Well, you get taught what they want you to, like, not what they want you to know, like the sugar-coated kind of version.
Yeah. Do you feel like that's changing now, even in, like, big cities? And
No, not yet, I don't think. It's a tough one. Like, we all know what happened and how wrong and how horrible it was, but nobody wants to talk about it. Like, how can we move forward if no one is going to start the conversation or speak about all the wrongdoings that had happened in the past? You can't just go, oh, that was in the past, we're done. Like, let's move forward. There's a lot of hurt. There's a lot of, anger and grief still lingering around generations. That happened to my mum. My mum's only 61 years old. She's not that old. So it's still very relevant, very new, very fresh.
And very important.
Yeah, very important. Well, it's our history. Like, everyone needs to know. The English didn't discover Australia. Australia was already discovered. They just came and, they
took it. Stole it. Colonised it. Yeah. I mean, so many words.
Yeah, exactly. There's so many words that you could say.
Yeah. I think people are starting to educate themselves. Yeah. White people are starting to educate themselves and build an understanding around what happened. I think when Black Lives Matter happened, I was really excited to see so many of my friends wanting to have conversations with me that they had never had.
Yeah, which is
before.
Amazing.
Yeah, and I'm not saying I'm any expert. So I feel there's a big shift and I feel that 2020 was a big catalyst in that way.
2020 taught us a lot of things and that was one of them, which is it's sad that a life had to be lost for that conversation to start, but the conversation started and hopefully, we can get past it and just
keep talking about it.
Keep talking about it and keep bringing the issues up that need to be brought up, basically.
Because I think the only way to move through it and ensure it never happens again is for everybody to understand it.
Yeah, everyone to understand. Yeah, exactly.
And I think that in America, the steps of healing, the 7 steps of healing or whatever, they are actually talking about it. They're unearthing it, which is a really positive thing. We here are still denying it. So many. So America are ahead of us in the healing journey. Yeah. Not so much when it comes to Native Americans.
No.
I mean, they're not talking about that the way they should, which is the equivalent.
Yes.
But I think at least there's momentum.
Exactly. And that's all we can hope for and, baby steps basically. So as long as it's in the right direction, that's all that matters.
Yeah. Are you able to go to the protests and things like that because, of who you are? Yeah. Is that something that is easy for you to do, is to go out and it's fine?
Yeah, I just...
Do people notice?
I think so, yeah. Sometimes, people, they'll either kind of look at me, which...
Yeah, because they'd be in awe.
Yeah. Oh, well, I don't know about awe. I take that. I didn't mean the yeah. But, or they kind of whisper and I don't really notice because, well, one, I have bad eyesight. So, and if I don't have my glasses on, I won't see you.
I do too.
But my husband will kind of, he'll see and, yeah.
And how long have you guys been together?
We've been together for nearly 13 years.
Wow.
And married for 6.
That's a while.
Yeah, for a lot. Yeah, I always get that wrong, but I know we've been together for 13 years nearly. So
how did you meet?
We met in a shopping centre on the Gold Coast.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
How old were you?
I was 17 turning 18. You
were young.
And he was 22.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you get connected through friends or?
Yeah, through friends. So, yeah. And then we were friends, but for a whole week. We were friends. 1 whole week.
I don't know if that counts.
No, I don't think it counts. We're still friends.
You're best friends.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, yeah.
Amazing. Going back to World Vision, as we all know, or as we all should know, Indigenous women around the world are the most silenced women around the world. They have the least access to opportunity. The girls that you're working with in communities, what is a dream for you and the World Vision collaboration?
My dream would be just for them to believe in themselves. They can do anything that they want to do. That's the main message I try and get across. I know I go there and they could just be like, oh, she's a model and, blah, blah, blah. But, I worked hard to follow my dreams and that's what I want to share with them. Yeah. So whatever they want to do in life, they can do it. As long as they've got support and things like that, the sky's the limit. They just need someone to believe in them and someone to tell them that they can do it.
Yeah. Is World Vision, obviously, I'm sure they are addressing poverty and in these communities? Yes. Are they really helping to empower these communities so these girls do get opportunities?
Yeah, they always send out schooling packs and all different, just basic things that we wouldn't even give it second thought, you know what I mean? So World Vision are doing really amazing things and I'm really excited to be working and being a part of it all. But when I did go to the Kimberleys, I actually brought my mum along. Yeah. And she'd never been to WA for starters. I had to lie to her about the time of the flight because she hates planes. But for her to see what World Vision was doing, she loved it. She literally, I think she would have thanked them 20 times or more because she's so proud of what they're doing with the communities and helping them out and
because of what she has seen. Yeah.
And that's her child going along to see this. She's going with her daughter that's a model that people are listening to and she's a very proud little mum.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Your mum going out to these communities because of the journey that she's been through in her life and seeing the way that people can treat other people and then seeing the actions they're taking now.
Yeah.
I also feel like that would have some kind of healing effect for her.
Yeah, I think so. She hasn't vocalized that to me, but she was in her element out there. Yeah. She was a hit. Everyone loved my mum. She keeps in contact with some of the ladies out there.
Beautiful.
She was just happy the whole time. So maybe it was a healing thing and I guess she was reconnecting as well and going back to her roots. So, yeah.
Do you think she would want to be a part of this World Vision journey with you?
She'll say no because she doesn't like flying.
Oh.
She hates flying. When we went to the Kimberleys, she would happily go back if I went back with her, obviously.
Yeah.
She won't go there myself. But, she loved to be a part of it and Vogue came along and got to capture it. So, it was really special. It was a nice, special mother-daughter time. But we all had our own rooms when we're on the trip.
Yeah.
We get there and they're like, okay, Mona, you've got your room. And Mum looks at me and I'm like, she can stay with me. So it was a very, very close trip. But yeah.
Do you fight ever?
No, we don't fight. We're very similar. So
same as me and my mum.
We just say what we need to say and then we just leave it.
Okay.
And no one argues back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't talk in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
I need a couple of hours to warm up.
I'm not a morning person either.
Yeah, but 6 a.m., 7 a.m., Mum will be like...
Oh, yeah. My mum does that. Or she'll start she'll start knocking on my door or like she'll just start singing really loud. And I'm like, oh, jeez, why?
So cute.
Yeah.
What does she do for work?
Well, she's 61. She doesn't work.
Okay. Good on her.
Yeah, just potters around. But she's really into her painting. She started doing Indigenous painting a few years ago.
Yeah.
I didn't know she could paint. They're phenomenal. Like I have most of them, but really beautiful artwork, and the stories are always about us kids. And
wow.
Yeah, like she's amazing. So,
and what style are they? The dots?
The dots. She draws animals. Like she's really good at it, and yeah, she really enjoys it. So.
Do you feel like is that a way of her reconnecting?
Maybe. I think so. Well? It could be.
So her being taken, how old was she when she was taken?
Oh, I don't know exactly. Maybe like she's old enough to remember. So
yeah,
6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still way too young. Shouldn't have happened, but.
Shouldn't happen at all.
No.
Her culture was taken from her.
Yeah.
So it's really beautiful that she's found that.
Yeah.
Again and reconnecting.
Yeah. Like we've got vases. Our vases are like this big and of all dots. I'm like, how long did that take you?
Yeah.
Like I had a friend come over the other day and was like, where are those pots from? They're amazing. I was like, my mum did them. She was like, wow, that's incredible.
Do you think it's innate? It's just an innate talent?
It must, I don't know. I don't know.
Do your aunties paint?
They do, but when I looked at my mum's paintings, it's like, you know, like I've got a lot of Indigenous artwork as well from going out to Uluru and things like that, but it looks like it's traditional style for someone that has grown up in Tweed. It's like it's just in her blood or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you want kids? Does she want you to have kids?
So for years she told me to just have dogs. I have 2 cats. So sorry, Mum, I didn't get the dogs.
I have 1 cat.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 10-month-old.
Oh, mine's like 10 and 11.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're really old.
Yeah.
But now that we're older, you know, and I'm married and she does kind of slip in the you know, children time, but only slightly. Like she's like not when you're ready, but you know, one day.
Do you have nieces? Does she?
Yeah, I've got a lot of nieces. I'm trying to think. I've got a lot of nieces.
Oh, that's why she doesn't. She's okay.
Yeah, she doesn't need to be picky. She's got heaps of them. Don't be greedy.
My mum's got none.
Oh, really?
She's got a kitten.
Yeah, baby steps.
What more can you ask
Exactly,
for?
it's a kitten.
He's beautiful.
No.
I've been asking this to a few guests. Mm-hmm. 2 parts to this question, actually. What are your dreams for yourself for the future?
My dreams for myself, to continue to work in the industry that I love.
Yeah.
What else do I want? I just want to be happy.
Yeah.
That's all. Money doesn't buy happiness. I just want to, you know, have a happy family, end a family one day and, just enjoy my life. You only get one. You don't get to go, oh, that one sucked. I need to do it again.
Depending. We'll see.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we'll stay tuned.
Yeah. We'll be here in 100 years. And what are your dreams for the country moving forward? My
dreams for the country are to acknowledge the Indigenous people. They're not in the Australian Constitution still to this day. I shot with Marie Claire, with beautiful Jess Malboy and Miranda Tapsell at the start of the year about that, and just acknowledge and know and just acknowledge what has happened and do the right thing. Do what should have been done at day dot, basically.
So we can all move forward, but Indigenous Australia can take their power back.
Exactly.
Fully feel like they are appreciated, recognised.
And the traditional landowners, which they are.
Yeah. What is your dream for our Indigenous people?
Our Indigenous people. Just to be able to do what they want within their lives, just be given opportunities with, you know, anything that they want to do. Like it's kind of hard to say, what do I wish? Because everyone will obviously want different things. Just for them to be happy. Just happiness. You know what I mean? There's been so much hurt and sorrow and just pain. Just happy. Be able to be proud and vocalise their culture and for people to listen and understand and,
One major thing for me is just unity.
Yeah.
For everybody to just love each other.
Yeah.
You know?
No one's superior to the next. We are all human.
Yeah.
Like, why can't we just all just understand that and just, you know?
Yeah. And appreciate each other. One of the biggest things that I find is the more I get to know people who have different backgrounds to me, the more joyful my life becomes.
Yeah.
Because you're just meeting special people all the time. I mean, you're exchanging energy.
Yeah. You're learning about different cultures as well, which is amazing.
And your world opens up.
Yeah.
You know? So imagine if we all could live that way.
Yeah. Or think that way too, have that same kind of mindset.
Yeah. Well, soon.
Yes, exactly. We're getting there.
We're on the way.
Yes.
Sam, thank you so much for
Thank
coming.
you.
You're really special.
No,
I don't think...
I'm going to leave this place thinking I'm so special.
Good. But I don't think you could even conceive how important your presence on this earth has been and continues to be. You represent worlds coming together, in such a beautiful way.
My husband actually said that to me yesterday, the day before. I shot something like we're all coming together as one. And he even said to me, he goes, like, imagine, when you're an old lady, your children can say, my mum was part of the reason this is happening. And I was like, oh, that's really nice. I was like, let's not think of when I'm an old lady, but yes.
But it is.
Yeah, like it's lovely to think that.
The people who are being born now, you're going to be one of the people. It's like she changed the world.
I try.
It's beautiful. Yeah, so I know that you couldn't comprehend that because you are you, but that's the way I perceive it, and I think that's the way that many, many people across this land perceive it.
Well, that makes me happy.
Yeah, good. You're so beautiful inside and out, and I love to see that you are living your purpose and you're blazing the trail and you are inspiring all girls, not just Indigenous girls.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'd like to thank Sam for joining us on the Loving Podcast today. As Sam mentioned, Indigenous Australians are still not recognised in our Constitution as the first peoples of this land. Since the late 1930s, there have been many struggles for recognition and justice led by our First Nations people in order to establish a First Nations voice in Parliament and create a treaty that will allow Indigenous Australians the right to self-determination. In Woolloomooloo in May 2017, First Nations people from across the continent came together to make a direct and powerful statement regarding their aspirations for true recognition in Australia's Constitution. They wrote, "With substantive constitutional change and structural reform, we believe this ancient sovereignty can shine through as a fuller expression of Australia's nationhood. We seek constitutional reforms to empower our people and take a rightful place in our own country. When we have power over our destiny, our children will flourish. They will walk in two worlds, and their culture will be a gift to their country. We call for the establishment of a First Nations voice enshrined in our Constitution." This is known as the Uluru Statement from the Heart. What I would love for this episode to be, as well as share the beautiful voice of Samantha Harris, is to be a call to action for all Australians to join Indigenous people in their fight for recognition in our country. Also, to contribute to Sam's work empowering Indigenous girls in communities, you can support the STARS Foundation. The STARS Foundation is an Indigenous-governed non-profit organisation that operates across Australia to provide a holistic program to Indigenous girls and young women. Please head to thelovingpodcast.com and click on Sam to support STARS work. You can also head to our socials at The Loving Podcast. Please tune in next week when we talk to the inspirational Aminata Contabajur about her journey as a refugee.
I always tell this story because I think it's extremely important when it comes to refugee and migrant story, an idea of Australian, which it is a beautiful country. People think everybody wants to just run away from where they are. I mean, the people run away from war, persecution, and other things. But with refugees or somebody who have come from a war, I didn't know where I was coming. I was very familiar with Europe. I've never heard of Australia before. I deliberately chose Australia for that reason because I knew nobody would recognize me.
See you next week. Big love to you all.
The Loving Podcast is a One Love Films original podcast. It is recorded at Forbes Street Studios, Woolloomooloo by Charlotte Rochecouste and Nicholas Rowse. Our editors are Zoltan Fecso and Jenna Hayes. Our music is composed by Jenna Pratt and guitarist Joshua Gonzalez. Podcast photography and cover art is created by Sarah Fountain. Our behind-the-scenes photographers/videographers are Daniele Massacci, Barnaby Downes, Paul King and Ryan Andrew Lee. Our podcast imagery is created at Innkeeper Studios. I am your narrator, Victoria Jane Hind, and our producer is Jenna Hayes.